Boa noite, senhoras e senhores do Brasil, da América do Sul, as 3 sub-regiões. Sejam bem-vindos a mais uma escola do Messias Tribal Celestial. Hoje nós vamos fazer a aula número 5, também com o reverendo David Don Kim. Só que antes de nós começarmos, eu gostaria de pedir ao pastor Amaral da Mota, que é o vice-presidente nacional do Brasil, para poder fazer a oração. Só que antes disso, um recado. Aqueles que tiverem alguma pergunta, guarde a sua pergunta para o final, que o reverendo Kim vai pedir para aqueles que tiverem pergunta fazer simultaneamente. Então, pode colocar no chat também, mas elas não serão retiradas daqui, serão feitas no final. Então, quem tiver alguma pergunta relacionada ao conteúdo, especificamente relacionada ao conteúdo, por favor, levante a mão no final para que possa fazer essa pergunta e ser respondida pelo reverendo Kim. Então, vamos receber o pastor Amaral da Mota para poder fazer a oração para darmos início à nossa Escola do Messias Tribal de hoje.
Vamos orar. Nossos amados pais celestiais, verdadeiros pais do céu e da humanidade, somos gratos ao Senhor por essa oportunidade que o Senhor está nos dando, Pai, nesse dia 15 de janeiro do ano 2021, Pai, com a presença vossa, do verdadeiros pais, e também da nossa força central aqui da América do Sul, reverendo David Kim, para realmente a quinta aula, Pai Celestial, do Messias Tribal Celestial. Pai amado, permita que nós não possamos só entender, Pai Celestial, só com a nossa mente, mas que nós possamos também viver em nosso coração, Pai Celestial, esse tempo tão precioso, em que o Senhor está realmente revelando para cada um de nós, mostrando, Pai Celestial, para todo aqui o Brasil, Pai Celestial, para todos os nossos irmãos e irmãs da América do Sul, para poder realmente avançar no Messias Tribal Celestial, e dessa maneira, Pai Celestial, cumprir aquele desejo que o verdadeiro Pai, principalmente o verdadeiro Pai, na última oração que ele falou que cada um de nós, Pai, deve se tornar vitoriosos no Messias Tribal Celestial. Cada um de nós deve realmente ganhar essa vitória através do curso Fórmula, através do curso Modelo do Verdadeiros Pais. Por isso, queremos agradecer a vós imensamente por essa oportunidade, esse aprendizado, que possamos realmente colocar em prática, na vivência do dia a dia, e assim possamos conseguir vitória no nosso testemunho, e assim, Pai Celestial, ofertando para o Senhor, até 2022, 2027, Pai Celestial, essa grande nação do Brasil e América do Sul, Pai, como oferta para os verdadeiros pais. É que vos agradecemos por tudo, e relatando em meu nome, José Amaral da Mota, da família Abençoada Central,
Muito obrigado, pastor Amaral. Então, agora, para darmos início à nossa classe de hoje, vamos receber com uma calorosa salva de palmas ao reverendo David Don Kim.
Okay. 안녕하세요. Good evening, brothers and sisters. A long time no see. Today is fifth class of HTM School. Sorry, last week you couldn't catch it. First two answers. So today I got to know that I have to answer with the two questions, and then I will from today I will explain so the way of Heavenly Tribal Messiah, and then how to become Chunbo family first today, and then as a Chunbo family, what we have to do one by one. So let me go back to the question for last week. Just two. So one is what is the influence of Jeongseong and the ancestors' merit on the success of HTM activities. Is that the reason why for some, the result of the tribal messiahship comes faster, and for others is more difficult? Yeah, I'm sure the accomplishment of heavenly tribal messiahship actually depends on the work together with the spiritual world. And that's why once you have a stronger foundation with Jeongseong to deal with the spiritual world, and I'm sure it's much easier and faster to accomplish the tribal messiahship. So it's directly connected with the spiritual world. So especially the tribal messiahship the activities consist of two components. One is the horizontal, 430 families, the blessing, and the 430 ancestors' liberation and blessing. So we cannot finish it, 430 ancestors' liberation and the blessing in one time. So that's why we go step by step. So we might start from the seven generations first, and then 14, 21, and like this, more and more we have achieved ancestors' liberation and blessing. So that's why the more number ancestors we blessed, the more, the bigger merit or the more power will come to us from spiritual world. Because once our ancestor as a spirit become absolute good spirit, after blessing in the spiritual world, their mission will become same with our mission on this earth as blessed families in the physical world and also in the spiritual world as well. So that's why those who blessed our ancestors in the spiritual world must come to us and work together to accomplish the tribal messiahship on this earth. So that's why the more we finish the liberation and the blessing of ancestors, the easier we can work for the tribal messiahship. Second, in South America, for many blessed families, the idea of restoring 430 families is very distant, even if the home group is employed. Many of these families still think that only a few leaders will be able to achieve this, or only those who understand the home group system very well. However, many families who still do not understand or have not been able to successfully practice the home group feel without the hope of success. What can we do to help and give hope to these families? Is there a translation? 통역 있어? Okay. Well, this is a very good question. And today, what I'm going to share with you is exactly this point. First, let me explain my understanding and the point of view for the home group activities in South America. Well, South America is only continent and only area where the home group activities has been successfully, successfully implemented, and then also have created certain level of result from the home group activities, comparing with the other nation or other continent all over the world. It's very clear. But the true parents' providence with the heavenly tribal messiahship providence, aimed and then changed to the Chunbo families. South America members or the home group activity has been confused the way or the combine these activities to the production of Chunbo families. I think that if you were able to make a merging, combining understanding and the way of activities on the field together with HTM activities and home group activities, I'm sure Brazil supposed to be the #1 country where which accomplished the Chunbo family in terms of numbers. But the Chunbo families, numbers of Chunbo families in the Brazil is relatively became very small. In that sense, I think the home group activities or home group system in South America had been used to aim only the concept of witness. What I want to point it out with this situation was, for a while, we had been focusing on the witnessing, but since the True Mother accelerated Chunilguk Providence, HTM activities, and furthermore, Chunbo family activities became 100% providential responsibility, not for just witnessing. So not only witnessing, but also we have to work to fulfill our responsibilities as blessed families. So that's why witnessing and the providence had been mixed up. So one side, home group was the way to make a result of a best witnessing. On the other side, this home group activities must be directly connected with the HTM movement, which transformed to the Chunbo families. But the standard of witnessing was very clear, because the witnessing is to really change the people completely, by educating them with the truth, which was a divine principle. So that's why the speed was became very slow. And then also those who were not become, those who didn't become the blessed families, they were not the result of the home group activities. So that's why now we need to clarify our HTM movement to become Chunbo families, comparing with home group activities. Home group activities or system is the best way to multiply the numbers to witness people from 3 people, 12 people, and more, right? And then multiply the same system, and then second home group goes the same way. And this kind of multiplication was the key point, the key aspect of home group, which was witnessing activities. But blessed family should become heavenly tribal Messiah. And why? Why we have to work of the way of heavenly tribal messiahship? Heavenly tribal Messiah is like, a tribal Messiah, which has been clarified by True Father. True Father called tribal Messiah. True Mother called heavenly tribal Messiah. So why heavenly tribal Messiah? Because the accomplishment of the tribal Messiahship mission is the accomplishment of our portion of responsibility to inherit true parents' victorious foundation. So that means not just the way of HTM was not just going to the way of the best witnessing way. No. Furthermore, it is the way to inherit the true parents' victorious foundation. So this, if we are able to be successfully accomplish the tribal messiahship, we were able to inherit the true parents' foundation, regardless of how many we have been witnessed and how many we make, our spiritual children. That's one point. And the second point is that through the HTM activities, True Mother gave the final goal of the HTM activities. What's that? That's the Chumbo family. And to become Chumbo family is to accomplish our portion of responsibility in front of true parents. And then secondly, that symbolizes the completion of our individual responsibility, which means after we got the blessed, and with the blessing, we were able to get rid of our original sin and then reborn, right? And then after reborn, we supposed to follow true parents and then work together with the true parents. And then when true parents finish their mission on this earth, and then we are able to become one and the same with them. That means we also are able to fulfill our responsibility and then finish it to work the road of completion stages by following true parents. So that's why the accomplishment of HTM means the completion of our life of faith. That means we will be able to finish it, completion of our situation. That means individual, we are able to achieve individual perfection. This is another meaning of the Chumbo family. And then the other one is, as we know, true mother, true parents is really reaching out and then working now so hard to build God's nation. This is a sin 통일 한국, which means a heavenly unified Korea and the heavenly unified world. True parents, together with the worldwide blessed center family, worldwide HTMs, as fourth Adams, working together to create God's nation and God's world. And then we, as HTM, our mission is to build and then accomplish the create local restoration of a local area, which means restoration of our community. That's the true mother's concept of heavenly true parents community. So that's why this HTM activities is different from home group activities with the 3 points. That's why, in that sense, even though we are able to use and then adapt this home group system, home group activities as the method of HTM, but home group activities should not be the whole for the HTM activities. That's what I'm saying. So in that sense, only I don't think so. Only leaders knows about the home group activities and the home group system. Members have been working too, and the members also knows. But because of this kind of a gap of understanding and the providential point of view, we were not able to make a unified, strong one way of activities, I believe. So that's why, based on that kind of situation, I had been built up the vision to accomplish our heavenly tribal messiahship and to become a Chambo, and that how can we fulfill our individual perfection, and then finally how to build up the heavenly parents community in my area. So from now on, I would like to explain how Brazil, South America, can we work to accomplish our final portion of responsibilities. 좀 올려줄래요? 3단계. So you may familiar with this table. This table has been little bit changed from the slide of my the vision seminar, right? It's a seventh class, seventh lecture. I explained the strategy for the HTM activity. This slide is the table which I have been showing to True Mother and all the Cheonilguk leadership in the Cheonilguk leaders conference last week. So blessed central families can build up the 3 steps of activities as a Cheonbo family. First step, as you see, first step is to become Cheonbo families, as a True Mother, emphasized and promised to True Father. So now everybody knows what are the conditions for blessed families to become Cheonbo families. So I can say it's just 2 ways, right? Completion of 430 ancestors' blessing. This we are working on that. And then connecting with the home group activities, we have to also complete 430 blessing in village. So let me talk and explain this point, this horizontal 430 blessings. So what does it mean? So far, we have been working with two ways. One is just giving holy wines and have a holy wine ceremony to the people through the individual or visiting families or having family festival, right? Gathering peoples and then to celebrate the ideal family or true family values or whatever, we ask them to have a holy wine ceremony. So my point is very clear. Let's make let's keep this holy wine ceremony. But when we count this holy wine, who drink the holy wine, not as individual, but basically as a couple, right? For the married people. So basically, for example, if we visited home and then we explain the true family, right? And then the value of the ideal family, and then people really understand and then accepted our movement, and then we ask them to have a holy wine ceremony to join our movement or whatever. So when we have holy wine ceremony to the married couple, basically this we have to have a holy wine ceremony as a couple. But in many cases, it's very difficult to meet the husband and wife at the same time, right? So even in that time, when we meet the husband or wife and then have a holy wine ceremony, and then we need to put a certain condition that next time we will have another holy wine ceremony, or we can give holy wines to husband or wife so that they can go back home or they can meet with their spouse, and with their spouse they have a holy wine, drinking holy wine like that. But on the other side, they're supposed to be the single people, right? Single members as brothers and sisters who did not have married yet. In that case, we can, of course, we can have a holy wine ceremony, and then we can count as one. But we have to raise them, and we have to bless them as a single blessed couple. And also, there's one more case that those are usually old people whose spouse had been passed away. In that case, we can count also them as one family under the condition that we guided them to get the spiritual world blessing. So, like this way, we have three categories. Basically, those three categories that people get together, we need to have a holy wine ceremony with 430 families. This is the completion of 430 blessing, which has been allowed by True Mother and Korean Church headquarters. So, in other words, to make 430 holy wine families on this earth is to creating my tribe. When I say my tribe, it means my tribe members are those who have drinking holy wine and accomplished spiritual salvation or individual salvation by having holy wine ceremony. So this is the first step. That means that let's make it simple. First step for me, for my couple to become Chambo family is to creating my tribe. Okay, my tribe consists of spiritual vertical tribe and horizontal 430 tribe. So 430 ancestors blessing and 430 holy wine ceremony. If we are able to finish this one, we can register my family as a Chambo family. So my point is that let's everybody become Chambo family first. Okay, do you understand? Regarding this first step, if you have question, please raise your question right now. 나는 이 영어 통역이 안 들리는데 하고 있어? 그럼 내가 어떻게 알아듣나? 그럼 지금 이야기를. 질문 없습니까? No questions? So, all blessed family as heavenly tribal messiahs. Now, it is very clear for everybody to register ourselves as a Chambo family. Is it clear now?
In the class, asking how to realize the blessing of widows of widows.
I already explained. Those are all the people whose spouse has been passed away, widow or widowers, and be one person, and it can be one family. Okay, it becomes the part of 430 my tribe, under the condition that later on, with the education, we guide these widows to get the spiritual world blessing. But that's later, second level. After we become Chambo family, we can do that. Now, point is that we can give holy wine to widows and we can count them. Okay. Any other questions?
Tatiana, pode falar, Tatiana.
Boa noite, obrigada. Quando a gente vai dar o vinho sagrado para o casal e eles não podem tomar o vinho por recomendação médica, nesse caso, como fica?
There's some people that cannot drink the wine because of medical recommendations. So in this sense, what can we do?
Well, if we cannot make them to drink holy wine, we cannot make them as our tribe. There is no way, because drinking holy wine is the condition and the standard for them to be saved. So that's why the standard is holy wine. If they cannot drink holy wine, no matter what region, we cannot make them as a tribe. At this time, I can say only this point. we have to find out another people, right? Other people who can drink holy wine. 누가 또 질문하고 있어요?
Senhor Arnaldo, o senhor quer fazer uma
Okay,
pergunta?
whatever question, please let me know. I want to know. Everybody is very clear.
Senhor Arnaldo, por favor, desmuta. Por favor, o senhor está mutado.
Ok. Eu queria perguntar assim, se uma pessoa não fez uma libertação e nem bênção, ou fez só uma parte da libertação, mas não deu bênção, mesmo assim a gente pode convocar a ajuda dos antepassados? Porque, por mim, eu não pedi ajuda, porque como eu não fiz uma libertação completa e nem dei bênção, então eu não pedi ajuda para os meus antepassados.
If someone only liberate the ancestors but do not give blessing, can they still ask for their help in order to fulfill the HTM activities?
그게 무슨 말이에요?
In his case, he only gave part of the liberation, not the blessing yet. So he's asking if it is possible to ask for the help of the ancestors that he liberated to help with that.
So question is, liberated ancestor can come to us and then help us, right? Well, those liberated ancestor spirit must stay in the workshop center, in a spiritual workshop center. They have to stay with the Hongjin. They are under the education. So that's why after we have a liberation of ancestors, we cannot have a blessing ceremony for them right away. At least we have to have 100 days, Jeongseong condition, right? With our Jeongseong condition, and our liberated ancestors can be blessed. So, but because of some situation, if we cannot bless them during 1 year after they got the liberation, what happened? They cannot come down because they didn't become absolute good spirit yet. Because they are still under the education, which means that their boundary before they got the blessing is only limited in the workshop center or a certain boundary in the spiritual world. So that's why no matter what situation, first we have to guide them to blessed in the spiritual world. And then as bless the family, absolute good spirit, they can move down, they can come down. This is the kind of spiritual law that I understand. I'm so sorry. So that's why your mother emphasized liberation and blessing, because the blessing is the final course for our ancestors to restore and then to finish everything in the spiritual world. Before that, they cannot come to us.
Senhora Georgina, você quer fazer uma pergunta? Eu vou desmutar a senhora. Pode falar, senhora Georgina.
Boa noite para todos. Boas noites. A pergunta é o seguinte: nós demos a bênção para alguns casais idosos. Eles aceitaram fazer a condição de 40 dias. Só que quando nós fomos lá para explicar sobre a cerimônia de 3 dias, eles não aceitaram por vergonha, porque já não tinha condições de talvez realizar essa cerimônia, né? Como que fica essa situação?
They give the blessing to some elderly couples, and they accepted to have the 40-day ceremony, the 40-day separation ceremony. But when they went to explain that on the 3-day ceremony, they didn't accept, first because of shame and also because of age, because they don't have the conditions to do that. So she wanted to know how to count this kind of couple, what to do in this.
Yeah, that's actually next step. Whether they have a 3 days of ceremony or they don't, or they fail, still they are your tribe. Okay, still they are in the 430, your tribe. So if they don't understand, and then as your tribe, you must be responsible for their spiritual life as well as their physical life. So, because of many reasons, they may not understand and they may not accept and they don't want to do that, but have a time and try to educate and then try to persuade them, so that they can go that way. Point is that once you give the holy wine ceremony, and then they are your tribe, which means you should be responsible for their spirits. So that's why, for them to go to the complete blessed way, a way of blessed couple, you shouldn't stop to, educate and then to guide them. So, one more thing. So, this is the first step, and then next step is from the holy wine ceremony to the blessing ceremony. Now you are talking about the blessing ceremony. So that means, in order for you to become Champa family, you don't need to bring the people to the formal blessing ceremony. Just a holy wine ceremony, okay. But as a next step, you have to guide those 430 families to get the holy blessing, to participate the holy blessing. And then after have participating holy blessing, they need to have indemnity stick ceremony. And then after that, they have to go to the 40 days separation. And finally, they have to have 3 days of ceremony. As a spiritual parents, you are in charge of educating your tribe to accomplish this marriage blessing, which means the accomplishment of physical salvation, which means family salvation. So that's the second next step. So that's why once you give a holy wine and then individually, and then you guide them to have a 40 days ceremony, you missed one point, which is blessing ceremony. So let's look at our way of a blessing. What happened with us 40 years ago, 30 years ago when we got the blessing? What happened? We were matched first, right? Either by person by person or picture by picture. By the true parents, we had been matched. And then those matched couples should participate in what? Blessing ceremony as a single, right? As a brother and sister. We gather together for the blessing, to participate in blessing ceremony. And then before the blessing ceremony, what did we do? We had holy wine ceremony, right? We had the holy wine ceremony as a couple first, and then we participate the blessing ceremony as a 6,000 couples blessing, or 30,000 blessed couples, or 360,000 blessed couples, or whatever, right? Do you remember now? So, and then at the blessing ceremony, right? After we finish the blessing ceremony, what we had done in the evening of the blessing, we didn't go to the honeymoon. Instead of that, we had what? Indemnity stick ceremony, right? And then we had a 40 days separation. Finally, we were able to start family life after 3 days of ceremony. Why we did work that way? Because that process was exactly the way to get rid of our original sin from our spirit and from our physical body. So after marriage, right? After marriage, still we were brother and sister. And then before we participated in the holy blessing ceremony, we had a holy wine ceremony. And what does it mean, that holy wine ceremony? Before the holy blessing, that was spiritual and the individual salvation by the true parents. So that's why, as a spiritually, individually saved man and woman, we were able to participate holy blessing ceremony by true parents. So that's why, as a spiritually saved individual, we participate in the holy blessing in order for us to start way of physical salvation. So that's why we had holy indemnity stick ceremony, because of our hip, our lower part, this fall had happened, and that's why we lost the God's blood lineage, and then we had the original sin. So in order to get rid of man and woman's way of original sin, we hit that instrument for the fall first, and then still it didn't finish it yet. That's why we were not couple yet, right? Still we had original sin in our body. That's why, as the separated from the fallen behavior, we have to grow up as unfallen man and woman, Adam and Eve. We had grown up for 40 days. And then under that situation, After 40 days separation, now we are able to start life as a couple. But still, we have to restore the fallen behavior, which was sexual intercourse, right? That's why the spiritual fall had happened between Lucifer and Eve. And then Eve transformed this spiritual fall to the physical fall. That's why, in order to restore, in order to fix this one, for 3 days, 2 days, early 2 days of 3 days ceremony, who is leading the sexual love in the couple? Husband or wife? Wife in the position of Eve, leading 2 days of sexual love. That's why for 3 days ceremony, 2 days, woman goes up, right? And the third day, finally, Adam restored that subject position. And then third day, Adam is the leading sexual love with Eve. With this 3 days ceremony, completely this course really made blessed couple to free from Satan's original sin spiritually as well as physically. That's why after 3 days of ceremony with the sexual love, pregnant, and then children comes out, and then these children is completely free from original sin, free from Satan's lineage. That's why second generation will connect with God's lineage. No original sin. You understand this point? So that's why first thing is we give Holy Wine ceremony means they are my tribe, but they are just before to participate blessing ceremony, which means they finish the spiritual salvation, but they are not. So that's why second level, what we have to do after we become Chambo family, we have to guide my 430 tribe one by one to get rid of their original sin in their physical body. That means we have to guide them to participate holy blessing and then go to the actual substantial way of getting rid of physical original sin. You understand? That's the second point. So we will make a 430 Holy Wine ceremony. From that can you put the second somewhere? Put the Okay, look at this table. 아니. So second table. Among my tribe, we choose 3 families to get the blessing ceremony and then guide them to work the actual way of getting rid of physical original sin. 3 families, 12 families, and 36 families. And then our goal is eventually guide all my tribe to become blessed families. So that's the second point. But, because of many reasons, well, those who drink the holy wine, if we can ask them to have 40 days separation and the indemnity, stick ceremony, 40 days separation, and 3 days 3 days of ceremony, step by step, one by one. Without the education, it's almost impossible. That's why once you give, holy wine, and then from them, you need to build up the relationship, good relationship with them. That's the, oikos in the home group activities. And one-on-one is really, we have to educate them with the divine principles so that they can be separated from Satan. And then they are able to accept what we guide for them. So this is exactly what we had done through the home group activities. So my point is that let's become Chambo family. And then as a Chambo family, we need to use home group activities as a strong point to guide them to become blessed families. So that's why those who drink holy wine on the first step, in order for them to go to the next step, they have to start from participating holy blessing. So and then who's gonna organize a holy blessing, and then who's gonna give a benediction? Only true parents can do that, right? True parents, as the parents, physically, spiritually parents, they can get rid of physical original sin only. But due to the victory of true parents have been bequeathed this, this right, this, benediction right, and this, power to the, continental director and the national leaders and the regional leader. Now to whom? Church leaders, family church leaders. So, but still, as a blessed family, as a heavenly tribal Messiah, you cannot give benediction for them to start family, physical salvation. That started from church organized blessing activities. You understand? And then you can guide them to go to the, substantial way to fight and get rid of physical original sin. So now I finish it to explain second step. Okay, you can have a further questions. If I don't understand your question correctly, please let me know so that I can give a right answer to you.
Senhora Helena, eu vou abrir o seu microfone. Por favor, pode fazer sua pergunta? Senhora Helena, poderia se desmutar, por gentileza?
질문 없는가? 하고 있어?
Senhora Maria Ofelma, por gentileza, poderia habilitar seu microfone?
Sí, yo tengo una pregunta y nosotros estamos haciendo 430 renovación de votos matrimoniales y cuando ya lo hayamos conseguido, cuando ya hayamos conseguido esto, ¿qué pasa si encontramos que hay personas que se han separado? ¿Qué sucede ahí? ¿Me escucharon? ¿Me entienden?
But but later on, some of those families split, got separated. What to do regarding this family?
Separate means the couples are separate
Yes.
after Holy Wine ceremony. Oh, you mean you gave a Holy Wine ceremony, but after Holy Wine ceremony, this couple had been separate, divorced, you mean?
Poderia habilitar seu microfone? Poderia habilitar seu microfone?
¿Aló? ¿Sí me escuchan?
Sí.
Cuando hayamos terminado los 430 renovación de votos, si después de eso hay personas que se han separado, ¿qué sucede ahí?
그런 경우에, in that case, you need to find out different couple because they are no longer couple, right? So you cannot deal with this separately, separated couple under the Satan's dominion. I think that personally, you're better to find out other couples. Switch with the other, couple. 됐어. 오케이. 뭐 또 다른 질문이 있겠지. So I'm waiting for the next question.
Senhor Beltramino Juarez, pode fazer sua pergunta?
Hola, buenas noches. Perdón, una de las preguntas que me gustaría hacer es, primero sabemos que los requisitos principales para calificar como familia Chombo es cumplir con las 430 bendiciones verticales y horizontales. ¿Qué otros requisitos se necesita para calificar como familia Chombo?
Y otra pregunta es, según la diapositiva que mostraron, está hablando de poder testificar a 3, 12, 36, 124 y 400, llegar a las 430. Eso significa 5 generaciones espiritualmente hablando. ¿Es así o solamente es hasta los nietos espirituales que se cuentan para lograr las 430?
Is we know that the main requisites to come from the family are the 430 vertical and also horizontal blessings. But aside of the blessings, what are the other conditions to become to want to be qualified to become a Chombo family? And the other question is in the slide. Then in the second stage, then there's a steps from witnessing to 3, 7, 12, and beyond this level. So that means that at 5 spiritual generations, or only the results until the spiritual grandchildren count.
to become Chombo family.
Yeah, come to the meeting.
Okay, for you to become Chombo family, basically you have to achieve the 430 vertical and horizontal, and then you have to prove your basic life of faith. You know, you are keeping, good church life or not. I think, as a Heavenly Child Messiahship, these kind of things are not so, no problem. So that means that actually, if you are able to achieve the 430 vertically, horizontally, it's to finish it, I think. And then, okay, until what generation you can count? This is your question, right? That means you can count your spiritual children's spiritual children. That means your spiritual grandchildren's spiritual children will not be counted. If you have 10 spiritual children, right? Now, among those 10 spiritual children, one spiritual children accomplished 430. And you can count your spiritual children's 430. That means you already finished, right? Your tribe will become 431, including them, right? So in that case, your spiritual child can finish it, but you should fulfill your own portion of responsibility, which means that at least you have to be able to have 50 blessed families, spiritual children. That means as long as you have more than 50 spiritual children, your tribe, families, and then among them, those who fulfill the number, you can, count them. For example, if you have one spiritual child, and this person also has a HTM work, and they make accomplish that. For example, 200 tribe, and then you can count this 200 as a part of your tribe. That means your spiritual child made 200, and then you can add 240 more. In that case, if you achieve the 240, you can be Chombo family. Is it clear?
Pastor Zenon, poderia abrir seu microfone? Pastor Zenon, nós não estamos te ouvindo.
Temos várias condições como família abençoada. Uma delas foi
Pastor Zenon, poderia recomeçar a sua pergunta? A gente só ouviu metade. Beleza.
Alô? Está me ouvindo?
Sim.
Então, temos as famílias abençoadas, né? Como abençoadas, nós fizemos várias condições. Dentre uma delas é adquirir os 4 itens sagrados. E isso é uma condição fundamental para poder ser família Tiambô também, ou uma família que não pegou os 4 itens sagrados, se concluir os 430 bênçãos e 430 libertações, pode se tornar família Tiambô.
This question is some years ago, then there was the special condition to receive the 4 holy items. Okay? Four holy items. And then he is asking if having these 4 holy items is a condition to become a Chombo family, or even a family that doesn't have these 4 holy items, by fulfilling the vertical and also horizontal responsibility, can become Chombo family.
Well, actually, those 4 holy items are not directly connected with the mission of a holy wine ceremony. But as far as I know, those 4 items are the holy wine and the holy soil and holy salt and holy candle, right? So that's why this is actually for the 천일국 citizen, which means Chombo family. So that's why once you become the Chombo family, as a Chombo family, you can use those items. You can put the holy salt, and you can put the holy 천일국 candle, and also when you pass away for your 성화 ceremony, 성화 ceremony going to be 첨보 성화 ceremony. For 첨보 성화 ceremony, you can use the holy soil. So that's why those 4 holy items is for the use of 첨보 families. So that's why with the true parents' grace, based on true mother's victory, without any kind of requirement or compensation, true parents had given to us. To become Chombo family is different in terms of our responsibility.
Família Argani Sairi, tem alguma pergunta? Eu vou habilitar o microfone de vocês. Por favor, só desmutem a Ciro. Família Argani.
Sí, buenas noches. Buenas noches. Nosotros hicimos la liberación y bendición de nuestros antepasados. Y queríamos saber cómo nos podemos comunicar con ellos, o cómo debería de ser la comunicación con nuestros antepasados. 1. 2, quisiéramos saber cómo podemos adquirir la casita para nuestros antepasados, como de cartulín, así nos mostraban en color blanquito. Esto quería saber, esas 2 preguntitas, por favor. Y muchas gracias, reverendo Kim, por las conferencias y por guiarnos también. Muchas gracias.
They already fulfilled the liberation and blessing of the ancestors. So first, he wants to know how should be the communication with the ancestors, with the liberated and blessed ancestors. And
how to work with them.
Yeah, how to communicate and work with them. And second question is how to acquire the house of the ancestors for them to live with us, together with us. There's no ancestors' house.
효정원.
Yes.
How can we get that one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Christian. How can we communicate with the absolute good spirit? For this, originally, True Mother asked to bless families to inherit the Hyojung one, which means HJ kind of house, right? For the spirit, absolute good spirit. From the Cheongpyeong Workshop Center. So those who finish the 430 the ancestors' blessing, you need to bring them to your home and stay together with you, because this time in the era of Cheonilgo is that two worlds, physical world and spiritual world, is not separate like before. True Mother had 3 years of devotional course to True Father, and True Mother had been working in the Jeongsim one to really make these two, spiritual world and physical world, become one. Right? True Father, throughout his working, these two worlds has been separated and far away throughout the 6,000 years work, 6,000 years of fallen history. True Father had been build up the foundation and then bring this victorious foundation to the spiritual world, and then deal with one by one. And finally, True Father asked to Demonim and Hungjinim to work in the spiritual world, to change the spiritual world from the evil world to the good world, one by one. And then finally, these two worlds became close, and close. And then True Mother, make these two attached world one. Now, spiritual world and physical world become one. Not like this. You have to understand this point, and you have to know this point. Without understanding and knowing this point, even though I explain no matter what regarding Hyojungwon and whatever, you will never be able to clearly get the point. Spiritual world, not like this, completely like this. Once everybody recite the family pledge every day, right? And what is the family pledge number 8, last one? What's that? That means all the Cheonilgo citizen, blessed family, should practice absolute faith, absolute love, and then absolute obedience. For what? For what? Once we practice absolute love, absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, what happened? The result of this practice gonna be the complete unity between God and human being, centering on God. This is 신, 인, 애, 일체. Do you remember that one? 신, 인, 애, 일체. What does it mean, 신, 인, 애, 일체? God and human being become one, centering on love. That means not like this, not just attached, but spiritual world where God is living, and the physical world where human beings are living. These two worlds, with God's love, become one. Okay? So that's why once we blessed our ancestors, they are blessed central family in the spiritual world who are working with God. So that's why this spirit in the spiritual world come down and then stay with us. How? We are here, blessed family here. How they can stay? They can stay with a certain distance, 1 meter distance, 1 year distance, or 10 millimeter distance, or just attached here. No. You don't understand what does it mean. This means our ancestors stay in me. In me. Where? Where? My heart, my stomach, or my leg, my arms, where? My mind, my thought. True Mother has shown us that she is go together with the True Father. It doesn't mean True Mother bringing spiritual world. No. True Mother is bringing True Father in her mindset. You understand? If you understand this point, Shin in a ilche, exactly. And then with this concept, look at the Garden of Eden. In my vision seminar, I already explained this point. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve freely talked with God. Adam and Eve freely communicated with Lucifer, who was spiritual being, angels. How is it possible? It's a different spiritual world, like we got the liberation, like a dream. No. God dwelled in Adam and Eve's mind, in their thought. Lucifer always with Eve and Adam through Adam and Eve thought. That was the Garden of Eden. That means in the 천일국, how these two worlds gonna exist? Not like this, not like this. Spiritual world gonna exist. Where? Bless the family members' mindset. Oh my God, what happened? Do you believe it? This is not a matter of belief or not. This is not a matter of belief. This is reality. That's True Mother really want to let us know this point. So that's why, in order for us to become 천일국 citizen, what we have to know and what we have to do first, make these two worlds become one. So we are creating 천일국 now, right? Once we, accomplish to create the 천일국, is this 천일국 different from our real world, current world? Is it? Will it be same or different? What's supposed to be 천일국? Is it different or same? It must be different, right? It must be different. 천일국 must be different. And then what the different point? Yeah, different point is the 천일국 is spiritual world and physical world become one and then go together in human's body, in human's mind and soul. So that's why, if I ask you, okay, what is the most difficult point, difficult things that, in order for us to accomplish our Chambo activities to become the heavenly tribal messiahs, to become Chambo family. In order for us to become Chambo family, what is the most difficult point? You may say, well, 430, blessing, holy one said, I can do it. Maybe within 1 month, if Corona pandemic finish it, okay, I can do it within 1 month. But you may say, but I don't have money. How I can bless my ancestors? Yeah, spiritual world and physical world separate. You cannot do that. But these two worlds become one in your mind. What can you imagine? What can you think? In your thought, in your mind, ask to absolute spirit for them to work. You give opportunity your ancestor as blessed family in the spiritual world to work, to make, try. But if you think, oh, still spiritual world is separate from physical world, you will not find out how to accomplish that one. So your mindset should not stay in your reality. In your reality, please bring to your ancestors and then push them. Let them work. So, in that sense, a true mother really gave opportunity for all blessed families, especially Chambo family, should inherit Hyojong One, which is a spiritual kind of the absolute good spirit house in your house. So that's why through the ceremony to inherit that Hyojong One, you will officially invite and bring your blessed ancestors to your home. And then in the morning, when you leave house, you can ask your ancestor to go with you. Or while you are driving, you can ask them to go first and they work to make a foundation for the purpose. But its purpose should not be your individual or your family purpose, but for tribal messiahship purpose. They will work day and night. If we don't know this point, we will not be able to be the Chambo. But if you have a clear conviction, and if you have absolute faith at this point, I'm sure all blessed family will not take long. Spiritual world work on this for this work. Which one is a faster? Spiritual world work is a faster, or your work to make a 430 is a faster? Which one is a faster? Yeah. Hey, members, Heavenly Travel Messiah is in the heavenly South America. Please listen, open your eyes. This is the Chanilgo. This is a different point. And if you have a clear trust, absolute faith, with the fact that spiritual world and physical world become one in me, and then we will be able to create miracles, which true Mother has shown to us for the last 7 years. That's why 천일국 is the time and the place where we stay together with God and spiritual world. Okay, so I'm not sure how long does it take for everybody to really accept this point and then make this fact to your reality. But I'm challenging to you how you can fulfill the vertical 430 if you know this situation, and then you stand and call them together with you, and I'm sure there is no absolute problem for you to become Chambo family. So that's why I am so confident that all HTMs can become Chambo family before the end of 2022. I think that, I took it too long. How about the finish it, everything before the end of this year? If you truly know the power and the reality that these two worlds become one, and then you bring this unity with your thought, your mind, you already finished. Okay, so let me get one more question, and then we can wrap up this today's session. And the next week, I will continue to explain details, second level and third level.
Senhora Nancy Cortez, por gentileza, poderia fazer sua pergunta?
Sí, señor, buenas noches, muchas gracias. Quiero hacer una consulta desde Colombia. Se habla de familias bendecidas, pero digamos que como habemos personas que por ciertas circunstancias estamos solos, ¿cómo vamos a poder participar como familias o cómo nos podemos presentar como familia Chombo?
Okay.
So her question is, for those couples that only one partner is still on nurse, how is the process to become a Chombo family? Does it have any difference to add as a couple working together?
Blessed family.
Yeah.
Our HTM.
No.
One passed away,
yes,
or divorced.
Passed away.
Passed away. Okay. If as a blessed family and as a HTM, if your spouse, husband or wife, passed away and you remain one, still you are a blessed family. You can work on that. I'm sure your spouse will totally become one with you and they work together. I have, that, situation in Korea last year. Maybe 3 years ago, the regional director in Korea, Busan regional leader, had passed away. With suddenly, he got the disease, and then he passed away. And then, his wife, Japanese wife, the true mother, put her in the Cheongpyeong Workshop Center, and she became to work in the Cheongpyeong Workshop, and she moved from the Busan to Cheongpyeong, where I was a senior pastor. And then once this Chombo Providence started, especially year 2019, she got a kind of dream, and she met her husband in the spiritual world, and her husband is strongly pushing her. Why you don't work to make 430 families and 430 ancestors blessing? I had been preparing, but I don't have a body. So that's why, as a wife, as a couple, you must work, but you don't move. So that's why I cannot do anything. As long as you start to move, I can be with you. And she's very old, and she lived in the Cheongpyeong Workshop Center, where removed from the society, right, from the village. So it's very hard for her to go out and then visit people, and then have a holy wine for them. But with this kind of dream, through the dream, she got the lot of pressure from her husband, who was a regional director, pastor. So that's why she decided to go out. And then within a couple of months, she finished everything. And she, testified that because of her husband, she was able to finish it to work as HTM. Not because of her, but because she started to work. And she had felt that every moment, every single moment, her husband come to her and they work together. This is reality at this moment. So one side, passed away. I'm sure, the past, the spiritual kind of spouse is eager to work on this earth as HTM more than who are working on this earth. So that's why you don't need to have you don't need to think separately. Same responsibility with your spouse who is in the spiritual world. Work together, and this is gonna be the families accomplishment of responsibilities. Okay, we can keep the explain and then having question and answer next week. Is it okay? So, and if possible, next week, I would like to get the certain testimony that everybody can see spiritual world and the physical world is become one. If you have that kind of experiences, or if you have that kind of situation, and then let us know, so that we can ask you, testify, and share with the other Heavenly Tribal Messiahs in South America. Thank you. I appreciate all of your commitment and fever and work as a Heavenly Tribal Messiahs. You may think that, oh, Dr. Kim, well, until when we have to wait to go out, have a holy wine ceremony under the corona pandemic? Well, with the corona pandemic, people, they don't eat, they don't drive. If we are able to think in the God's position and with God's heart, we have ability to find out, to make God's road. But if we think with the human mindset and we see human eyes, we will not able to find out the way. That's my experience. So let us really find out the way for God and spiritual world come to me and work together and build up God's foundation under the corona pandemic. And once you go that way, with no matter what kind of way, method, you will really push out the Satan's atmospheres and the Satan's power and the Satan's boundaries, and create a real bright heavenly circumstances. Okay, so let's keep work together, and let's keep talk next week. Aju, God bless all of your families and your communities. Thank you so much. Get a victory. See you next week.
Mansei. Gracias. Están despidiendo.
Chao, chao.
Mansei.
Gracias.
La
semana que viene.
Gracias.
Bendiciones a todas las
familias bendecidas
y ánimo. Muchas gracias.
Saludos para todo en Colombia.
Para Chile. Para Colombia, para Chile, para Uruguay, para Bolivia.
Chao.
Bendiciones.